Floozies?
No. It's Rawls.
Whoa.
Have you ever heard of Rawls? His name's Raleigh. He's out of Nebraska. He's fucking amazing. EDM, guitar. He's one of the most incredible flow artists I've ever seen.
Sick.
He's so good.
Sick.
Yeah, here's a drop.
Sicker than your average.
So you like that song, huh?
That's
You should hear the whole
definitely
track.
Absolutely. That's got a whole nice vibe to it already.
Well, awesome. This is episode 2 of the Zealous Soul. And I have one of the coolest people I think I've ever met in my life. She is a amazingly talented human being. She's an incredible musician. She does live looping at our shows. She does you do fire double stabs, right?
Yeah.
You do some flow. You are an incredible mural painter. I've seen some amazing works of art that you made, and you are definitely a zealous soul. So let's welcome Jordan Serpentini, aka Stella Lumina.
Yo, thank you so much, Mike. I love you to the ends of the earth. It's so cool that you're doing this, and I'm just straight honored to be here.
Oh, dude, I had this dream, and I was like, is there any podcast where they like showcase people that do what we do, like that aren't punching a 9-to-5 clock, that are like, I'm going to do something different with my life. I'm going to spin fire. I'm going to go do mural painting. I'm going to go do music. I'm going to do whatever. Fuck the man. I want to do it myself.
Yeah.
And then I looked into it and I was like, there's no circus performer podcast. There's no fire performer podcast. There are plenty of like music producer podcasts, but like mixing it all together. Yeah. Because people want to know what we do. Like why do we spin fire? We're kind of crazy, like.
Dude, there's a little part inside of you that just like needs that fire, and like I got that too.
Right. You just have this inspiration. I don't know where it comes from. That's why we're talking about it today. Like what drives us to do what we do, So like normally we ask like, first thing, where are you from? Like how did you come into this planet plane? Like where do you come from?
So I'm coming from Sirius B. And learning a lot about harmony. Yeah, I felt like the world's kind of collapsed beforehand. And then I'm like, all right, let's not repeat that.
Right.
Let's try this thing called harmony. I'm just kidding. I was born and raised, and maybe I'm not kidding, to be honest. Born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. And but very much like a traveler of the world. And I've always felt like everywhere was home, rather than it was like just the city, because I like have an innate feeling that there's like so much fam. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's my take on it. But yeah, I was born and raised there, and kind of had these little inklings that was just like, wow, I have a lot of energy. Like, where is this from? What is this for? Right. And little by little, it like kind of just organizes you into these pockets. Yeah. It's pretty sweet. Yeah. You find yourself through doing it, trying it.
Right. Cleveland, Ohio, man. I've never been to Ohio. The only thing I know about Ohio is that they hold the Juggalo gathering of the Juggalo. Don't they do that out there at the place where they do Lost Lands?
Yeah. I bet you're right. I bet you also know about Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and all those things.
There's a lot of stuff. It has like a big famous venue out there. That's all I know about that. Yeah. In Cleveland. Cleveland rocks.
Yeah. There's so much goodness. There's like guitars all over the city, like hand done by artists. And honestly, like it's got like this incredible uniqueness about it. Like there was so much money put into it, and then like kind of white flight happened, like everybody left the town, so they had all this industry, and then all these people left, so there's like so much empty amazingness. I'm talking about like Swarovski doing like these incredible skylights that are just Swarovski crystals that are just chilling in an empty arcade not being used, like that look crazy. Like all golden, like kind of the inside of the Titanic. So it's like this place of like incredible rich culture and history, but it really like Ohio looks like a heart, because I feel like it's curating these like kind of like very vivacious souls that are just like, I gotta learn what I don't want in order to find what I do. And I'm not saying Ohio's what I don't want, but
I mean, you gotta go out of it. You obviously did. You left and you traveled a lot. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I definitely did. I like got my license at 16. I was like, how far can I drive today? And I drove 2 hours. It was like the furthest I could drive.
That's awesome.
My dad's like, damn, I should just say goodbye now.
Right. Then you had it in your blood and you're like ready to go.
I do. he made the world seem really small. He
Yeah.
did. He was always like, if you think it's small, and you'll see so much.
Yeah.
And I think that was such a blessing to have
Yeah.
growing up. And you know, I've just had a really like deep, unsettled space inside of like, there's more. There's more to this story. What is it? You know,
Right,
it's like maybe that big seeker energy
Yeah.
that just like makes you go find it, makes you go do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it sounded like you had pretty supportive parents too, right?
Yeah, I did. They had their own stuff, and it kind of carved me into who I came to be, and I like give so much thanks. And yeah, my mom is like very inherently spiritual, and my dad is like very inherently business savvy, and it's like, okay, like what am I here to do with these like crazy like polarities? Like, let's do something.
Yeah, yeah. And so like growing up, did you like do music stuff? Did your parents like encourage you to learn music, or like did that come later in life?
Yo, let's talk about it. Like, I felt like
I've always wanted to know.
underlying issues at home just kind of made me like, yo, like, and not to saying that it was just everybody has them, but I just
Oh, yeah.
I left. Like, I was always adventuring. Like, as a kid with a Razor scooter, I was out, I was off, and like, so they kind of witnessed this from really young, and they saw that I had an extreme side to me. Like, I was just so sendy. Whether it was like running full speed at like icicles that went from the top of a building to the bottom. Like all I had this goal was to run and kick them. Like to like actually figuring out what does that actually mean for somebody's path.
Yeah.
Like they never really like inherently were like, you should play guitar. I had these little glimpses into that version of myself, and that was like a flower that was like waiting to bloom, and that was one that would take generations to actually bloom. But my first like initiation, like I had two of them. The very first one was like, I saw Freaky Friday, and I was like, must have an electric guitar. Like, I got that same, I got a Squire like right after, and I had no amp. So like, what kid is able to keep like excited about it? Yeah. And then the second, you know, I got a guitar when I was 13. But the second thing, I went on this date. So I was like 12. This is like, you know, maybe I was 13 to be honest. And it was my first unsupervised date. And it was at the Quick and Loan Arena, like that big venue you're talking about in Cleveland.
Oh.
And I literally saw AC/DC. And I was thunderstruck. I was like, yo, I love that.
Yeah.
But I didn't do that much about it. You know, it just like skateboarding took everything. I was just like, I found that, and that was my like, oh my God, I can get air. Like I can send it. I can like, and this is so accepted. This is so dope. And that kind of took the forefront, and the music had been on this back burner. To be honest, like I remember my dad was like, can you like do that upstairs? I was like,
The music?
yeah.
Damn, I guess I'll just skateboard in the living room, bro.
So I didn't feel that confident with it, to be honest, for a while. Wasn't until college, like I started to get this itch, and I was skating professionally at that time.
I
And
completely forgot to say that in the intro. Like, that's how I met you, was like, I'm a professional skateboarder, bro. And I'm like, no fucking way. And you pulled out your phone. You're like, look at them. I'm like, what, dude? You fucking shredding. So, yeah, that was my bad. So, yeah,
No,
sorry
you're
to interrupt you there.
You know, you're so chilling. It's like, I don't even know what found me kind of thing. Like, there weren't as many girls doing it. I was like, I could definitely. That's kind of been my life. I can. When I see it not there, I'm like, I can. You know.
Yeah.
And like that boundlessness, that limitlessness has always been like very intriguing to me. It's like, what is humanly possible here?
Yeah.
And yeah, I just remember it was like this skate competition, and there wasn't a lot of funding like there was for guys. It wasn't equal yet.
No,
now it's in the
it
Olympics.
Definitely
wasn't. I was couch surfing when they got the flights. Like when I say they, I mean the guys like that are also competing in the same contest as me in the guys
division.
division.
What year? Like when were you doing
So
this?
I was like 20 years old. I was born in '93.
Okay.
So basically kind of
early 2000s.
Yeah, well, a little later. It was kind of like 2012, 2014,
okay.
and that's actually a big part of the story. Is 2012, funny enough.
Okay.
And I remember just like I all of a sudden there was all this pressure. Like I was flying out of Paris back to the United States.
Right.
And there was all this like, I remember I had a really unexpected, like, thing that I had to put a lot of money towards. And I was like, wow, I need to win this competition so I
Right.
can get this, like, bus ticket to hit this plane back home.
Yeah.
And I, like, got first place. It was, like, all girls. And I remember needing a laptop charger. We went to the secondhand shop, and, like, it was a wall of guitars, a wall of Gibsons, like this crazy modestly priced. I was like, wow, I don't even know if they know what they have.
Right.
And I'd been like kind of captivated by flamenco guitars. Captivated. And when I would pick them up, something would be wrong. This is like, 5 years before, like just feeling that initial calling.
Yeah.
Going into the thrift shops, there was something dope, or there'd be like DJ decks that were just chilling there. Like, wow, if I only had 1,200 right now, like I would buy that for some reason.
Yeah.
And the reason, I don't know. I just needed it.
Right.
I just needed it. And I remember, because that situation happened exactly like it did, I went into the secondhand shop and found this guitar that was handmade in Alamanca, Spain. I wanted it to be handmade, and it, like, the name was P. Caballero, like
shit.
Caballero,
Yeah,
the
like
professional
cowboy.
skateboarder.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Steve Caballero.
I was thinking caballero, like a cowboy.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
but
yeah.
That makes sense. Cab's best. It's
Straight
so
up.
good.
And
That's awesome.
it had my favorite number and the make number, and I was like, this
Yeah.
guitar is for me.
Right.
And I just, like, got it, and from then on out, I just didn't put it down. It became like my go-to for whatever I was going through. I just get lost in the sauce, learning arpeggios, and
Yeah.
I freaking love it. And then I had this traumatic brain injury that just, like, hard stopped and was like, that thing you did on the back burner that brought you so much joy that you're really afraid to share? Like, what if I told you that was your life purpose? And this is like my heart speaking. I'd be like, oh God.
Yeah.
But that was that was just, like, exactly how it happened. And just like skateboarding, I was like, all right, if I want to learn a new trick, like, I got to see myself doing it and
Right,
visualize myself walking away, like riding away, like I got it. So music, like, immediately went through that skater filter.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, cool. And I definitely did, just way ahead of myself. And it was like 2018. I decided to go on my first tour, and I drew this picture of me. It's in front of it's a watercolor of me in front of a full, like, sold out Red Rocks amphitheater.
Oh shit.
I labeled it 2019 in the corner. I gave myself 1 year.
Oh shit. Damn, that's ambitious right there.
Yo, I just didn't. It's not that I didn't know. It's like almost like I knew so well that I wasn't afraid to just
That's how
claim
you manifest,
it.
though.
Straight up.
You gotta go big.
The boundlessness.
It
It's
is,
just like
right.
you put the intention on something and it holds that, and
Yeah.
you're like an infinite creator.
100%.
Like,
That's
you're-
what we are.
Yeah, you're
That's
straight.
literally, we're all creators.
Infinite divine creator consciousness. Like, if the placebo effect is real, like, you can make a sugar pill cure cancer.
Oh, yeah.
You can do that with anything.
Yeah.
I've
seen it
So.
in so many different aspects of life.
Yeah, how have you
From-
seen it?
I mean, just from my own aspects. I mean, just like the new vehicle that I got. Like, I saw it when it first came out, and I like held it in my mind's eye, and I was like, "This is tight." And then
That thing's bad in a good way.
And then all of a sudden, like, we're just randomly going to Costco, and we saw it. We're like, "Wow, that's awesome!" And like, still thinking like, I'm not, like, it's probably just gonna be something else. But that thought that I had in my head that was so prevalent about it, how much I loved it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm driving and I'm like, what the fuck? But like, that's just one of many. I mean, Laura, like, I've manifested Laura, because like,
Totally.
I was so tired of being in relationships where I was the one that was just like giving everything to.
Doing all the growth, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And then like, it just depletes you. And then once you're depleted, then you don't have room for that manifestation. So then I was alone. I was like, I'm only going to be with somebody that can take care of themselves and like not deplete me,
Straight up.
And I don't deplete them either, like
Yeah.
it's a perfect energy exchange. And then like, I was completely done with women, and then Laura and I met, and she asked me out on a date after she rolled in dog shit one night, and the day after she called me up and she's like, hey, you want to like come over for dinner? I was like, sure. And then here we are. I don't know, 4 years
That's
later.
amazing.
I mean, 4 years. Oh shit! Just in a couple weeks is our 4-year anniversary.
You guys literally fit together like DNA.
Yeah.
Like, it's like these two spirals that were
Right.
like kind of always meant to flow.
Right.
And I think that's beautiful that you were like, I'm done. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not looking for other people, because like that's kind of this like science of letting go.
Oh,
It's like
100%.
when you let go of the tension on it, it can just do its thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and they always say that the difference between like manifesting two dreams is like you can leave it super open-ended, very broad, and just like I intend to be creatively fulfilled in all beautiful, positive, and financial ways. And like, that's so many things. That could be anything.
Oh, yeah, for
and
sure.
then, or you could be like, I intend to sell out the gun arena of this thing in this year with this person, and there's so much attached to it that it makes it like still doable, just a much longer like vision, you know, kind of like a spider weaving its web. Like, it ain't even thinking about it, it's just like weaving it.
What's the craziest part is just knowing that you're the spider weaving the web, and sometimes you don't even realize. Most of the time, you don't even realize it.
Yeah.
I would say probably the majority of the world doesn't realize that they are the ones weaving it. You know?
Right.
They're like,
Yeah.
everything happens to me, and you're like, yeah, but who brought it to you?
Right.
You did. You
Yeah.
know? And like, I've seen it in multiple ways: bad ways, negative ways, positive ways, all the ways.
Right. There's actually this amazing like archetypal thing that's available to the planet right now. It's like a newer system of finding out yourself. It's called the Gene Keys. And there's one of the most important ones. There's 22.
The Gene Keys?
Gene Keys, yeah.
Gene?
Gene.
Okay.
It takes your there's 64 DNA codons.
Right.
And it takes like your different birth city and information, and then it places those codons with your exact alignments with how everything was set up when you were born, and it gives you these 11 spheres.
Oh, interesting.
And those are your gene keys.
Okay.
And it's like the 4 on the outside are like this external version of you that are your foundations, and then the ones on the inside is this Venus sequence, is love, how you fold it, and at the middle you got your pearl. It's like what you are when you're shining. And I bring it up because the gene key of grace, it's 22. That's one of the most important ones. There's 55 is also it's like freedom gene
22
key.
is my favorite number too.
Yeah. So there's like 3 vibratory fields of each one. A shadow. It's like that, like I'm just feeding, like I'm not good enough. And then if you take that same energy and you do feed it to yourself, you hit this gift frequency. And it opens up the world for you, and that manifestation synchronicity comes on, and there's hope. And then if you really serve like the collective to the highest tier, it's called the city. But I bring it up because the shadow is dishonor of grace. And the Gene Keys talk about that dishonor only exists because there are people that don't know they're constantly being recorded. There are people unaware that they're creators. Like they're recorded, their whole lives are this example of consciousness expanding, you know? And if they stay in this small mindset, that's an illusion that's been here for a long time, before me and you.
Oh, yeah.
That's been fed. If they stay in that
purposely
smallness, they don't know. But I bet if enough people were like given that truth and knew, they would choose it different.
Yeah.
So I think the whole world like will come online, like activate, you know, have their kind of awakening, quote unquote, one at a time, because you got to lose your mind to find your soul. And if everybody did it at once, it'd be chaos, you know? So it's like, yeah, like I was like, I need more out of life. I need to go journey. I need to follow this calling for music. And I found my family. I found you guys. Like ReKinection just like enveloped me of just like, hey, these are your like-minded souls that you knew were out there.
Right.
But like you didn't know where they were. You didn't know how it was. Like, and they're cooler and more amazing than you could ever imagine.
Well, that means a lot to me. That's awesome.
Dude, honestly, I'm talking to one of the coolest people I know too. Like you can live loop just like nobody's business. Like, and with didgeridoo and all these things, you're just so talented. Like, I don't even know like if everybody knows like the creations that you've been making. Like, so if Laura throws the festival, you like commandeer the ship. Like you take care of it.
That's
and
a lot.
You hand created the lotus behind the stage. Like it's so epic. Like really, it's really cool to just see people that are not afraid to be awesome.
Right.
To try things.
I spent a lot of my life being punched down on. So like once I made that decision, it was actually, I remember when that decision was made, it was Wookiefoot is the one that actually woke me up. The lyric that says, it doesn't do much to sit around and bitch. If you want to activate, you got to throw the switch.
Ooh,
and like
goosebumps.
My girlfriend at the time showed me Wookiefoot. This was about, it was like 2012 is when I moved back. It was like 2013-ish.
Wow.
And so like I was just into, this is when we had, you know, DVDs and stuff. So like I had a whole bunch of DVDs and movies and all this stuff, you know, just a whole bunch of distractions.
Yeah.
And I was listening to Wookiefoot for about a year at that point, and then it didn't hit me until that moment. I was driving a semi truck delivering a piece of equipment.
Wow.
And I got in my truck after delivering it, and that lyric came on, and I was just like, what the fuck? What am I doing with my life? So I went back home. I sold all my DVDs, all my video games, everything. I bought a djembe. I bought a didgeridoo. I bought poi. I got a whole bunch of shit. And I was like, I'm done being distracted. Like, what? I want to dive into this shit, you know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what led me here.
Dude, that's amazing.
It's super weird, but it did it.
Yeah, it's almost like you gotta like let yourself take up that space for it to always be here.
Yeah, and you have to be the one that's just like, enough is enough. You know, you can't keep living your life this way unless you really just like to not feel, I guess.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a numbness that's become very like normalized, but it's not inherent.
Right.
Like that numbness is like I would say a very big shadow. You know what I mean? That's like somewhere you're compromising.
Yeah.
You know, your own like joy.
I think it's a manufactured one too.
I agree. It doesn't seem innate at all.
No, I feel like before we had all these distractions in life, we had these purposes that we felt like we needed to do. And if it didn't work out, you know, you're like, oh, well, I'm going to try this thing. You know, I'm going to try fishing, or I'm going to try whatever, you know. But like now it's like, go to work, clock in, come back, drink a beer, watch Netflix, go to sleep, get up, go to work, blah, 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 blah. And people living just for the weekend, you know, and partying, and like, sure, I did a whole lot of partying, you know, but like, you eventually realize the party is not the move. Like, how do we make things better? How do we make people around us feel better and rise them up? That's what I love about doing what I do.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I kind of like, I got really like fascinated. So like my name is Jordan, and it's like this river, and I've always been kind of obsessed with water. If I look back for as long, so I kind of came out the womb drawing. I'm not even kidding.
Right.
Like I took pencils to my mom's freaking walls. Like it was nobody's business. It was wallpaper, and all of a sudden there's whales everywhere. Like I was inherently just like exploding all over. And you know, thankful enough, she like eventually let me paint some murals in the house.
Did she do something like this with the whiteboard walls and chalk
no,
walls?
Dude. No, she didn't. I just straight like went in with a pencil.
That's awesome.
And asking forgiventy. That's kind of been a lot of the life, is just like, I'm doing this.
Right.
Are you okay with it? Because I did it.
I mean, it's easier to ask for forgiveness. It is for
That's kind of what they say. But I did notice, like, the way my mom raised me, she's like, you know, there's just more than the eye can see. Right. There's just energy everywhere. And if you're listening to it, it's this cool compass that actually never leaves you. Like, so she's basically like, you're gonna grow up and you're gonna see a lot, but you have to like know that your thread to the bigger tapestry is always gonna be your heart. Like that's gonna follow. And my dad kind of gave me the same. He's like, you know, if you can do what you love, you won't feel like you're working. And the mid ground to that was just carving my own way. I remember like snowboarding, and I always loved the paths that were like powder. You know, they weren't like carved out and super icy. You were just like, I'm gonna go through here. And
tree line.
Yeah, tree line, send it. And so that extremeness came into play like once I started getting cognizant to the subtle energy bodies. I had my traumatic brain injury, boom, Reiki crossed my path. Like in 2 months, I was doing my energy work that was like that stuff that was taking up space. It finally wanted to be released. It wanted to be addressed so I could manifest more. And that was like holding on to people, holding on to places, holding on to stories that I created about myself that weren't really true. They were just in my mind. So like that liberation energy came online, and I kind of saw myself like taking a bigger step back. And just like, all right, like there's rhythms on this planet that are everywhere, from the spiral on the sunflower in nature to the Fibonacci to the spiral of the galaxy. Yeah, and then it like
spiral on our fingers.
Yes, and the DNA to like the frequencies that you see on a song, like the waves. It's like it's literally this continuous up and down. It's this continuous contraction and expansion. Our lungs even mimic the pattern, and our heart is that metronome. So I was just like, I remember reading Victor Wooten's book. It was like, everything is music. In fact, mu is mother, mu, and sick is science, and music is the mother of all science.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I never thought about that. I
It
love
is
Victor
so
Wooten. I haven't
cool.
read that book. I've heard it's really good.
Man,
though.
it's his first one. It's amazing. There's a couple other books in the series. It's so good.
Okay.
And so I just kind of got macro with it and really was like, all right, so what are the patterns? Like, what's actually plaguing this place?
Right.
Like, is it that people don't feel like they're worthy enough? Like, why are they so settled for numb? And I kind of came to the conclusion that, like, the energies that have been on the planet that are that cycle that expand and contract, like there's always like this contracting force that's trying to control, and then this liberating force because of that tension. And we even have it in our brains. There's a part of our brain that's rooted in self-defeat, so we can have something to overcome. Like, it's
so much, yes.
it's just everywhere. It's repeated.
Yeah.
And so I just kept seeing like these energies that were a little, like my mom said, they were like farther than the eye could see, of these things that were inspiring human beings to look at taking themselves out of the natural cycles of life. And like, even if you go back to Andrew Carnegie, like his GED implementation system, like he is like such a massive producer of things, ideas, railroads. Like, he came up with the GED, and like he even, publicly says he was creating a workforce. He was creating a workforce, a working population rather than free people. So there's always been figures that feel this entitlement for some reason, and that need to control, like their needs haven't been met, so they're just like big time projecting on like a huge amount of people. And why are there sheepish people? Why are there us, that are these freer people? It's so interesting to see.
That's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of, so far I've realized that you got to be a skateboarder if you want to break out of your fucking
That's
mold.
it. That's literally
That's the fucking
it.
deal. Because like when I started doing poi and like flow arts, I would like drill tricks and like moves, and I'd be like just thinking about, okay, it's just like doing a skateboard trick, just like doing a fucking kickflip, and then I want to do a kickflip and then a fucking fakie out, okay, I want to do a rock to fakie, and like so then I'd put lines together, and so I think that might be part of it. So far, everybody I've talked to, which is only you and Antry, skateboarding.
but it's so real. It's such a physical training ground for like consciousness. Like physically, you're just like, I am gonna do this trick. You found out all the ways you can, and then it just sinks, and then it's muscle memory. You're not even thinking about it.
It's flow.
Yeah, and then just taking that and applying it to the rest of the life, it's really good training for manifesting.
Right.
It's the same thing.
I think we're on something.
We think we are too. Everybody should just grab a skateboard.
Right. That's so awesome. So like, when I first met you, I remember you walked into the house, and Laura had known you for a little while, and you're like, yo, what's up? I'm Jordan, and I'm like, you're so fucking cool. You got so much energy. You're so talented. You're awesome. And then like, you worked with us for a little while, and you're like, you made like some graphics for ReKinection. You lived here in Kansas City. You did the thing. And then you're like, all right, I'm being called to Colorado. I'm out. And then you dipped out, and then all I've seen you do is just continue level up. You just keep doing cooler and cooler shit, bro. I'm like, you're on stage with Creature doing shit. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? You met Danny and your partner, and like, you just drum your asses off. She's so incredibly talented too.
I'm lit up with goosebumps.
Right. So like, what you're using that formula, you're manifesting things too. You're just a worker. Tell us what you're doing.
Here's the sauce, okay? And it cannot be contained in a can, let me tell you, because nobody's path is linear. So like, you're gonna be called into shit, and it's gonna like organize you into your heart's deepest alignments. And I'm just speaking in like literal motion. Like nothing can ever be pinned down as like, this is the equation. But what I find like the flow of energy through me was, I always had excitement for it, and if I let myself follow it, it always surprised me in a beautiful way. Nice. There's stuff that gets in the way with that, obviously, obligations, this, that, or the other, but I found myself just like, okay, if I can take myself out of the equation, like a part of my gene keys is like, my pearl is veneration, and that's the stuff that is like basically the saintly quality. And I've always kind of been like, yo, why is this country doing so good and this one's starving? Like, what is this shit? Like this is the best we got. Like, and I'm not trying to diss the world as it is, but I also came in with a serious like come on, like we could probably do better if we tried, type of stuff. And it's like I've never been afraid to test that mold with my physical body from skateboarding to like, okay, if there is a literal bomb that can detonate anything, anytime, if there's a bomb that can just blow it all up, if that exists here on the physical plane, the opposite dualistically has to be true.
Right.
There's something that can unite everybody in a second, in a button. And it's like, okay, what if I just took myself out of the equation? It's like, I intend to be that. I intend to be a love bomb for myself in the world. And that intention is the sauce that aligned it. It's just setting the course for your heart. You don't need to know the lefts and rights to get to where you're going. The GPS does that. Right. And that's you. It's brilliant. It's our minds that have been just separated. Yeah. And when you kind of harmonize them, you find the harmony. You find how music's everywhere. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that subtle calling was like, dude, it was so hard to leave Kansas City. It was so hard. You guys are such fam. And like, thank God I'm only a day away of a drive because I honestly wouldn't be able to. But I know the thing that has rebuilt my life in the gnarliest of wipeouts to relationship wipeouts to like just life happening. The stuff that rebuilt me was always that like subtle energy just pulling me into stuff. So I find I'm finally reaping the seeds that I've sowed for 10 years. And people don't even say like, at the beginning of it, if I knew it was going to take this long, would I still have that much like zealousness?
For sure.
And I think the answer is probably yes. Like, is what I wanted to be doing. And I quickly met you guys. And what's so crazy is like I remember making an edit with Creature, like for our flow jams. Like I'd used "I Want to Be Like You," and that inspired me. That bass line, I straight ripped it, and I was like, I'm gonna make a song with this bass line. and it was just like this, like do 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 do. It was like universally used, so it's not like I took it just from him. But I made Insanity, and then Convergence happened. And that's like what I love about life is because it's so obvious, like it's so over the top. Like the festival is Convergence, and I've been asked to play bass for my friend, incredible musician Malka Russell, and then Creature is headlining. And all of a sudden I'm packing up after the set, and I'm packing my guitar, and he's like, oh my God, is that a Strat? I am such a Strat man. Can I play that? And I was like, yes. Yeah. and now he plays it at every one of his show. I'm bringing my guitar. That thing is just like his awesome. Now. And we were just like, Danielle was like, yo, if you want, we do drumming. And he was like, yeah, well, we're playing at Cervantes, like you got to be tight, or like it was Mission or Cervantes or somewhere big in Denver, and that's like a beauty that I don't even know which one it is,
right?
And
I mean, Denver's really like, the scene is like
they're the hub. I thought Cleveland was the hub, but for actually the soul music I'm into, Denver is like the heart of this United States.
You gotta
I would
be on
say.
your shit.
And I remember us sending him like a little 60-second video of like, this is what we do on your song, and he was like, yep, cool, meet me at soundcheck, and it just has not stopped. And it's been just special to watch it evolve, and I can kind of see this thing coming online that's like the redistribution of wealth, because now I've met my intention was to also like one of the intentions, like, okay, so if we can create any reality, my music, art, words, and writing are fluent and wholly divine intervention for those in need. And that is not attached to a religion. That's just like, my shit comes to you when you want that wake up.
Right.
And
that's
if you're
beautiful.
ready for it, take it, you know? And if you don't like it, that's cool. Right. And it was always my medicine first, you know, because it like, I needed to process those feelings of like, wow, I need this. Yeah. And then now when my songs come on, like, they speak to me and they call me out. I'm like, damn, I did not just do that. Like, that's so special that it can do that. And I was like, wow. So we all need to find our musichood. We all need to find our voice. I can never lie when I'm singing. You know, it's like, it's just this beautiful part of us that I just think is dormant. And that's what I'm here to like. I'm not like, I'm going to save the world. And Danielle's really helped me get away from that. Like, because I was like, I'm saving the world, one person. Like, and it ain't one person, it's all of us.
It is.
To fucking,
Yeah. And that's why I really like doing the festival thing with Laura. Because, like, sure, I'm a cool guy and I, like, help people out on an individual basis, you know. And it's not like the way you do it. You know, you have this music and you have these mural. I can't paint to save my fucking life, but like I can create safety and like purpose and making sure that people see that I'm working my ass off to make sure that they're having a good time. And then when I hear afterward, they're like, yo, that was the best thing I've never seen the side operations go so smoothly. Thank you so much. I'm like, did it elevate your vibration? Like, absolutely.
Dude.
Because it could go the opposite. I've seen it go the opposite at festivals, and fucking people have a terrible time.
Right.
And then they leave and they take that energy to the world, and that doesn't help the world.
No, definitely. But what Trevor Hall says, confusion clouds the heart, but it also points the way.
Yeah.
You know, it's that constriction that leads to that breakthrough, or it's like the dusk before the dawn type of wave. And I've witnessed the same thing through you. We kind of like, this is like Kansas City and St. Louis, like there's so much creativity here. This is also like I would say an unspoken spiritual hub.
It is.
It really is.
It's
And
the
maybe
heart of
it's
the
spoken,
country.
but
You
yeah,
know,
it
it's
is
right
like
in the
that
middle.
heartland too. And I've seen you, like when I met you, you're working for Geek Squad, and then all of a sudden you're like side ops at Envision, side ops at this festival, and doing massive stuff. And you're like, I'm putting my metalworking first, and it's like it's always this question of like, how much difference can one person make, or how much fun could I possibly have? And the answer is like, you deem yourself worthy of it by doing it.
Right.
And everybody's kind of like, oh, like I want to do that, but like I'll do that tomorrow. But if you don't, like, if you make space for today, there's space for it every day.
Right, yeah.
You know, there's no like putting it off anymore. So you got to be radically honest to live here with us in this flow. And like, you got to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, to be zealous, you have to be honest. That's for sure.
You do.
Yeah, you have to face yourself
Yeah.
head on, and those demons that are in you that, you know, you have to unlearn things. That's one thing I had to do, is unlearn a lot.
Yeah.
You know, a lot, because I was not raised in a good environment, you know. So like all that fear, all that doubt was just heavy into me, you know.
Dude.
So, yeah.
It's just like sludgy.
Right. So, the next thing, I've never asked you, when did you start fire performance? How did you get into that?
Yo, so I was living on Oahu because, like,
Yeah.
all right, so I did not want to go to school. And my family, my dad's like, you need to go to school. And
Right.
like, art isn't gonna make it. Look at this.
Yeah,
like, and I didn't like that answer.
I do what I want.
It was like, yeah, for you.
Right.
Like, it's not like you're calling, you know?
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong about that. And I'm grateful. I'm so actually like just so grateful for all of that. Like, they put up, I had so much fire. I was so spicy. I'm like, people understand that I have a niceness about me now. And like, I've just gotta say, you gotta know the cold to find the warm.
Right.
Like, and I remember I went to like Charlotte for my first year because I couldn't drive home if I did go really far. You know, if I went like, you know, to an island or to this or some crazy thing.
Yeah.
But then I had like, it was like a couple months in, I was like, dude, I can go further. And I remember I found this school that I overlooked in the first process, and it was going to be way less for me to literally go to Hawaii than it was to these schools in Ohio, because there was such a brain drain state. So much, like $50,000 for tuition type stuff. And you're just like, wow, even like community college is pretty expensive here, like whatever it may be.
It's crazy.
And I always wanted to go for art, and I always knew that I love languages, so I settled into international business. And I went to HPU, which is Hawaii Pacific University, and like my actual thought underneath it all was like, I'm going to be able to skate year round and other people can't. So it's like, I can just like get up. Yeah. And surf. And so I ended up going out there, and I came across quickly this crew of girls on the North Shore, and they were doing fire circles. So we were on the beach, and they would have so first of all, before we get to the beach, let's just get to my initiation.
Okay.
I had what is that? The roll, like where you just roll it from one person's.
On a dragon staff?
Yeah. You literally just roll it from one
roll it on your
forearm into
forearms.
another. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had one of those, and then my friends lit my shit on fire.
Oh, shit.
Like 30 seconds later.
Booyah.
Yeah. So I was always like, okay, you know, like kind of cooler under like such pressure.
Right.
But it was really nice to go to these fire circles on the beach. You drop it, it's out.
Yeah.
You know, it's super out.
Yeah.
Or you could go in the ocean. which actually kind of was hilarious meeting you guys, and you're like top tier level of fire safety. I was like, I don't need fire safety. Like, I just drop it on the sand. Like, so it was like, I had that conversation in my head for like 30 seconds, and I was like, no, you listen to everything, and you don't tell them that you're not that great at fire safety.
We got to make sure people are safe. That's for sure.
Yeah, and the beach is definitely like not everywhere. And that's kind of what I forget.
Yeah, for sure. Not definitely not a wooden stage like at Astro Valley. You know, you don't want to drop it on that one. That'll just go up.
Have not dropped on that one.
Yeah. But no, that's funny because that's where I first saw fire spinning was in Hawaii. I actually went to Oahu when I was 16, and we went to the cultural center, the Polynesian Cultural Center on the North Shore. That was really cool. And then they had like a little workshop. OG. Super rad place. Yeah. They had this like poi workshop. And the only thing I knew what poi was that nasty purple white paste shit.
Like, there's a difference between the dessert
I was like, we're going to a poi workshop? That shit's horrible. And then we get there and they have these, little white balls that the ladies are spinning, the Hawaiian ladies are spinning. And I'm like, this is cool. So I started fucking with those. And then like we saw the fire performers on the beach at the luau, and then it wasn't for another, 8 years before I actually decided to do it myself, and I was not very safe at it. So.
Wow, you're wicked. You thought you were walking into two ladies rolling this purple stuff on a really long banana leaf and stone. That's so funny.
I'm like, this ain't it.
Yeah.
Thank goodness it wasn't.
Yeah, that type of flow is like so beautiful. That's kind of like what I like to see, like energy, like the sacred geometry that we're all like so about, you know what I mean? And like you see poi, like you're doing these geometric things and your body's doing it, and you're kind of like aligning a bigger field, like connecting to cooler things. And I just find it really, really epic that like I was always called to the Helio staff because I loved how it looked like DNA. Yeah, it's so pretty. And I just remember, like, you definitely have some wipeouts in that, too. Like, you get a couple burns. You could probably drop it on your face a couple times.
Oh, man.
But
there's a gif out there somewhere of me hitting myself in the face with my rope dart. I was like, just going along, did a neck wrap, popped it up, and I don't know what the hell happened, but it went plow right into the side of my face. And then somebody was recording at that time, and then they turned it into a gif, so it's just me going, thwap!
No way!
It's fucking hilarious, but it didn't hurt me.
That, bro.
It burned my eyebrows and facial hair a little bit, but like it was fine.
Yes, it was chilling.
But like that's life, right? Like you go along, you're doing stuff, and then sometimes that shit bites you.
Definitely.
I didn't stop doing it though. I still do rope dart. It's great.
Yeah.
I just hit myself less.
Yes. I really admire about you guys is like I love this idea of like, okay, this isn't there yet. Just like this podcast. This isn't there yet. Let me do it. It's like this, if you see the opportunity, it's like this beautiful road to pioneer or like trail to like snowboard down, you know that. Yeah. And ReKinection was one of those unique things. It didn't start with this big festival that was to bring, like it started with a super talented group of people wanting to create something around what they do. And I always really like that. Like, and this year I couldn't even be more excited for the Fire and Aerial show. Just hearing it, seeing what's there, like everything that's going to be there. And I have this like almost just cryable, this gratitude that's just like, you guys were like, oh, try Lyra. Oh, try this. Like I never would have found double staffs if I didn't meet you guys. And my mom, fun fact, she was a flight attendant for like 19 years.
Oh, wow.
And before that, she was a beauty pageant person. Like she won like Miss Ohio and a bunch of she was like gung-ho on me doing beauty stuff.
I had no idea.
Beauty pageants.
Yeah.
Never did one. I was like, Mom, I'm choosing my skateboard. I'm sorry. I love you.
Right.
And
you go shred out there, Mom.
Yeah, totally. It's like grilling these people like questions and stuff. No, but she actually was, before she was doing flight attendant, she was doing majorette spinning, and that was always her talent at these things. And she had these batons, and she literally like, she went through a bunch of hard stuff too, where she got a little like more like caved in, a little quieter, like this period. And I remember I got my double staffs and I brought them. And that woman was whipping them around her, throwing my staffs like almost 15 feet high, grabbing it without a beat, just like wrapping it back around. I was like, what? And yeah, it's just like this crazy bonding that happened through this flow art. Like,
Damn,
I loved it.
Yeah, I bet that was a trip.
It was,
Watching
and it
Mom
was
do
like the
that.
4th ReKinection I went to. I just randomly went up to Stargazer and randomly bought some double sass.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like so crazy, and I just went to see her right after it, and she just looked at him, and we like cracked out like all the oldies, like freaking Spice Girls was on.
That's
we were
awesome.
spinning for like 40 minutes,
Yes.
and then we both had something to do, and we
Yeah.
didn't mean to pop into like this 40-minute thing, and she's
Right.
like, oh, I gotta go. I was like, oh, me too. I love you. So
Dude, that's so awesome.
I know.
Have you gotten there to light them on fire yet? Has she done it with fire?
Yes,
Yeah?
I've gotten one of them. Yeah,
Oh,
she's
nice.
down for one. 2 is like, you know what I mean. She
little
has
much.
like a 1.5 foot of hair.
Oh yeah, no, we don't need that. No,
Yes,
that-
I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
And she wears a lot of jewelry. I was like, nah, you could just like
Yeah.
mess with like one right now and be solid.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I definitely really, really thank you guys in the way that you like opened me up to that side of myself, because that was like really exciting and just waiting to come online.
I mean, isn't that the goal? Is like inspire, empower, and elevate. That's kind of what we do. You
That's
know,
it.
Like when Laura and I met, that was my goal in my life, was to inspire people, empower people, and like elevate them. No
Yeah.
matter what I was doing, I started Pyro Tribe in St. Joe. The only
Wow.
fire
That's so sick.
performance group in that town, which didn't have any performance arts at all. It didn't have really any arts, you
Yeah.
know. So like, and now after I left Pyro Tribe many years ago, like I see that there are so many more people that picked up the flow arts because they kept it going. You know, Mooncat kept it going. Shout out to Mooncat. She's awesome. She's amazing. But yeah, and like once Laura and I met, I was like, oh, you do this on a much bigger scale, and like, can I help you on that bigger scale? Because like, and that wasn't my intention, because I didn't really know at the time when I first met Laura. I was still married to my ex-wife. We were at a camp out. I didn't know who she was to anybody, you know. And then whenever I went to ReKinection with my daughter, that's when I was like, oh shit, she's the one that's running the thing, right?
Wow.
But
So
yeah,
cool.
so
And she was just getting out of something too.
yeah, she was. Yeah.
So it's kind of like really beautiful timing.
It was really interesting. Yeah, and here we are.
Long story short, and here we are.
Yeah. Oh, super excited for Cosmic this year.
Oh
We
my
got
gosh, yeah.
a lot of good things coming up. Right in the middle of doing the workshop schedule, and like I just learned Photoshop, so I'm like doing a whole bunch of Photoshop stuff, and like, you know, so trying to level up my art that way, because I can use that. I'm really good at that.
Yeah.
I was like, you picked that up really fast. I'm like, sweet, that's
And you
awesome.
you are so fast. I'm gonna throw a question your way that you're not gonna expect.
All right.
But that's just kind of the dynamism in me. That's
Yeah, let's
just
go.
like whip it
Send
out.
it.
Yo, like when are you gonna have a set? Because
When am I gonna have a set?
because you have quite a musical background too, and like
Yeah.
you're not just here to build like the stage and run the things. Like you also have an amazing voice, and it's just like so cool that everybody, like, you know, Laura's just like, yeah, I play the washboard. You know what I mean? Like just everybody does everything, and I love that.
Right. I honestly, that's one thing that I really want to do, is I want to learn like Ableton, and I want to do my looping with my didgeridoo and my djembe, and like sampling my flute, and like
Yeah.
all the different things, and like making the music. And I feel like if I did make like electronic music that blends the other natural, you know, instruments that I played, it would be like kind of a mix between like Spangle and like some, I don't know, like entheogenic, and like just
Well, wow, that's
Yeah.
that's epic.
I don't know, but I think it'd be super, super strange, and I think it'd be really fucking cool.
Definitely.
I
Definitely.
want to do it, and actually, River's like, I'll teach you. I'm so busy doing all these other things, and he's about to go to college for music production. I'm like, bro, you should probably just teach me before you go. Like,
Yeah.
show me how to do this shit.
Yeah.
Somebody want, And then
Totally.
you were going to, and like, dude, you see how much stuff I'm doing.
Yeah, but honestly, just being around it, just carve out a little bit, half hour here, half
Yeah,
hour
yeah.
there, to just watch him
need to.
cook. Because
Yeah.
I mean, you're just setting up this podcast on Logic,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. You're already doing it.
Yeah.
You're already using it.
Yeah.
And that one's is like my favorite to create with, because
Yeah.
there's all these like these intuitive drummers,
On
intuitive.
GarageBand?
No, this is Logic.
This is GarageBand program that I'm
What?
using on this one. Yeah.
That looks exactly no, dude. That's Logic.
GarageBand, bro.
Oh my goodness! I'm gonna open Logic and they look the exact
That's
same.
crazy.
So Logic is way more built out.
Well,
but
maybe, I mean, I know you can do a lot of stuff on GarageBand, you know, like
You can.
a lot of music making. It's not the most ideal that people
Yeah.
say, but it's like if you want a beginner stuff. But
Yeah.
I mean, he can definitely show me. I do watch him sometimes, but I'm just
Yeah.
more in awe of what he's doing. I'm like, he's
Totally.
awesome.
And you're learning. Like, you're getting the codes right now for what
Yeah.
you know you're going to be doing kind of down the road in
yeah.
a little bit. Because let me just tell y'all, like, we messed with my looper, my little RC30, like,
Yeah.
for like an hour, and just the stuff that you looped
Yeah.
in a matter of moments was
know.
like, this is like a mix of Parangi and like
Right,
Closey's Bayana. Like, this is sick.
Dude, yeah.
Like, it's super cool, and you're very, very good.
I
So
want to do it again. I really do. And to be honest, I just kind of forgot about it there because I just have so much other stuff going on. Like learning just Photoshop alone.
Yeah.
That's a whole fucking deal. Like a whole
There's
day.
a whole
They teach
school for
college
that. They
yeah,
really
college
do.
courses
No,
for
it's
that.
for real, for real.
Yeah, and I'm just barely scratched the surface into it. So, but yeah, I do need to get into it. Thank you for reminding me that because I do want to do that. That's something that I've always wanted to do.
Totally.
But I've just never like applied myself to do it. And I know for whatever I apply myself to, it's just gonna fucking rock it.
You
know?
got a lot of people too. You
Yeah.
know a lot of beautiful musicians that would be so excited
Yeah.
to do some stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's gonna be on my list then.
Yeah.
The things that I gotta do.
Yeah, so 417, you're gonna come up and play Make Me with me?
417.
Yeah, at the greenhouse.
Oh man, that would be great. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we got a greenhouse show, and I think Vincent is gonna open for
Vincent's
us.
gonna be at 417. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Let's do
and
it.
probably Katie Hines is gonna throw down,
Hell
and I
yeah.
just want to really, really make it like the fam. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Gather in the name of love. Like,
Hell yeah. Okay.
And so it's like 417 because we couldn't wait for 420.
Oh my god, that's fucking great. Yeah, that place is cool though.
I love it.
Yeah, let's do it. I still know the lyrics, so we're good.
Sick. Let's do it. That sounds cool. It came on my drive, and I literally had this big download. This is the other part of what you're talking about. Like, how are you doing these things? Just
Right.
one moment at a time, honoring it as it comes through.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden I was like, he should open up. This should be happening. They should be involved. Da da da. And then you just do it, and they're like, I've been thinking about you for a couple days now. It's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Right.
Like, yeah. It's like it's so
crazy how
already
that works.
written. It's like weaved, you know. And
Right.
that's how I kind of gauge whether I'm like quote unquote doing it right. You literally cannot do it wrong.
Right.
That's one thing I just have to say. But there's more harmonic and more dissonant choices, you know, just like keys and chords. And
There is a way by doing things wrong, and that's by inaction.
yes,
That's how you do
not
it
even
wrong.
doing it.
Right.
Yeah, they say you miss 100% of the shots that you don't
Exactly.
take. You
Yeah,
miss
yeah.
100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah, 100% of the time the answer is no if you don't ask the question.
Straight
right?
up,
Those
yeah.
cliches, man, there's something to them.
Gosh, like we should probably put one on every page until we get to 936 and call it a Bible.
Right.
ReKinection Bible.
Shit. Did you know that I wrote a book, like a biography book about my life, and I got like 50,000 words into it, and I haven't finished it. It was like I stopped when I was in my early to mid 20s,
Dude.
and like I want to go back and revisit it. I only stopped it because I was going through a really fucking terrible time at that time, and like I was like, holy shit. And I had to stop for a while. I was like, I can't keep reliving this part of me, you know, because
Yeah.
I could feel it, like
It's
doing
tangible.
what it was doing then.
Yeah.
You know, kind of much like how singers, they create songs, and if those songs are like really heavy with a hard message, you know, like take Chester from Linkin Park. You
Yeah,
know, his
totally.
lyrics were so deep and dark, and like, and having to relive those every time you're on the stage, I feel like, oh.
Yeah.
But I need to do it. I need to finish it because I got a lot of weird, crazy
Yeah.
shit to me.
I have a couple of things that come up like in response to that is I think it's like the natural alchemical process of creativity, whether you're taking it to a canvas or you're taking it to a guitar or whatever your outlet is, you inherently start at where you're at, and that's normally pretty dark.
Yeah.
Like my first cover songs was literally Back to Black by Amy Winehouse.
Oh,
And I was so good at it, right?
Right,
And
right.
played it, and
Yeah.
then I was just like, sheesh, I can't be here anymore. Like, this is taking me some bad places. And I rewrote it, and I wrote it back to light, and I would play it like that,
Oh,
and just
that's
remixed
awesome.
it.
Yeah.
And I saw my shit get more and more like uppity, you know, as I was moving through these like things that were within me. It's like the stuff you just like just can't stop playing. Like it's for you, you know,
Yeah.
like this. It wants something. It wants lyrics, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really the way that I feel that we heal is in and through the body, like
Yeah.
letting it be expressed.
We have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's being trapped in it that really fucks me up.
Totally.
You know, I have to keep moving.
Expectations.
But
Yeah.
that's the same with every aspect of my life, like jobs and stuff. Whenever I had jobs, it was like 2 years maybe, and I'd be bouncing. I'd be like, I can't do this. So I do
Same.
something different. 2 years, and I'm like, fuck this. I can't do this shit. And then until I found this, and I was like, dude, I'm going 4 years strong, and I haven't quit this yet. I'm like, this is
Right?
fucking awesome.
And all those things that you did, just like me, like if I had a list, and I do, because I also wrote an autobiography.
Yeah?
it's called How to Be Light. LYT is living your truth. How to be
Yeah, yeah.
light. And like, or it could be how to be lit, whatever.
Right.
We're in this
Let's
modern
get lit,
day.
bro.
Let's get lit, bro. Let's get living your truth, bro.
Right.
And it's all about flow. It's
Yeah.
all about that exact thing. And it's like, it is literally like, I have like, it's a couple hundred pages. It's sick. And I got it to 99%, and then I didn't do anything with it. And I just believe it's because it ain't time yet.
Right,
You know,
right.
like we're going to come back.
Just have
circle
more life to
back.
live.
Yeah, exactly. So my point is like, I literally went from selling, like my first job was power washing cars, and then I was detailing cars, and then I was selling cars and selling skateboard stuff, turned pro. I'm pretty sure I was a roof contractor somewhere in there. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, I literally did screen printing for t-shirts and hats, like, and just like, you know, muralist, painted a bunch of houses, like, so many things that don't look connected. A lot of selling jobs, like, and then a music school thing, and like it's all here to like the stuff that you learned at Geek Squad to the stuff that you learned there is like what is like making you so good at what you're doing now.
And that's not even the Geek Squad stuff. Like I used to fix heavy machinery, and like
Oh,
I
that's
have
cool.
so many fucking skills that directly transfer to side operations. You know, like
Yeah.
if something breaks down, they're like, "Get Mike, he can fix it."
Yeah,
So,
that's
like,
epic.
You know, so
Yeah.
yeah, there's just so much to it.
Yeah, you kind of have Archangel Michael presence to you too.
That's who
Yeah,
I was
you're just
named
like,
after.
Damn.
weird, huh?
And you
Yeah.
got blue eyes too? Are those blue?
Dude, they're blue and they have
Yeah,
little
dude.
yellow starbursts right in the middle, and they just like shoot out. Everybody
Yo.
sees it, they're like, "What the fuck is up with your eyes, dude?" I'm like, "I don't know. That's how I was born."
Dude, Archangel Michael was all over my house growing up, and my mom was all about like, if you ever have any problems, just ask, ask. There's nothing too big or small. And I remember in Hawaii, I was having my own awakening from like straight up business school to like wanting to beeline out of that shit, like
Right.
and go right into holistic living and like taking this message and using all the things I learned in business in a positive manner. Instead of getting people hooked, I'm liberating people. Like, you know,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like taking that stuff, which looked like a total beeline in life. Like, what was in that soil was like a spark that cannot be tamed. You know, it's just that that stuff just literally one thing at a time will take you to the places that you need to go.
100%.
Inside yourself mostly. You know what I mean? It's so
Yeah.
internal, it's crazy.
That's actually quite a beautiful thing to we're almost done. Wrap that up. That's a beautiful thing that you just said.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you for being you. You're just so fucking awesome. And every time I see you, I'm just like, Jordan, you're so
Same.
awesome.
Oh my God!
Right.
Because his family is like real. It's so beautiful, and like it's just to add to, like, I'm laughing because Danielle's like, just to touch upon what you said,
Right.
and that's in one of my songs. Like,
Aw.
I use a sample of myself like talking to somebody else. I'm like, just to touch upon what you said
Aw.
in Insanity,
Yeah.
but just to touch upon what I said. There is like nothing that brings me more joy than being a part of what we're all doing here. Like, this is really special. I don't see other festivals putting this much love in, and just
No,
don't see it. Like,
don't either.
there's a Facebook for ReKinection families.
Yeah,
Like, that's just, you know, it's just so much.
Yeah.
And it's just a big honor to, like, be here, to have done something right, to
Yeah.
be here with you guys.
Well, we always love your presence here.
Yo, I will always love you guys.
What else you got going on the rest of the year? We'll wrap this up. Tell everybody what you're doing.
Okay, so we have a couple really big things. I just took a couple months to be like, what is it that I want to be sharing with my friends, with these crowds, with these people that I have some sort of soul magical entanglements with, you know? And we put together this thing called Enter the Stellarium. And it's like this whole hour-long experience. If you've ever seen like Mesmerica in the dome of like the science centers, it's like all this crazy, positive, awesome visuals matched with these songs. So we curated a whole visual for the set this
What?
year that's like outrageous.
That's awesome.
And then we also are heading up to Canada later in the year. It's like is it Shambhala?
Shambhala, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be playing with Creature at Shambhala, which is gonna be crazy.
I've heard Shambhala is a really awesome festival.
It is, and it's like Tomorrowland size. That's like you're in Europe, you know, and just like
Huge.
the stage is crazy. And
Right.
I think underneath that, like I am so excited. All of the music, like I just released an album that I've been working
Yeah.
on for 2.5 years, and
So good.
thank you. It's just been
So
a lot of
beautiful,
love, but like
yeah.
it's so crazy. There's so much more music coming this year that nobody even knows about in that way, and I'm just like so hyped to let it all go do its thing, weave its grooves, and
Oh, that's so awesome.
yeah.
I'm so excited to see where you go. Every time I see you, you're doing new cool shit, and I'm just so happy about it.
Same.
Yeah.
I really love just like being able to link with you guys too. Just
Yeah.
like even no matter how far I am, just like we can just be like in each other's phone in a second.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
so cool.
Yeah. Well, you're always welcome, and I love you dearly.
I love you
Thank
too.
you so much for coming on this.
Yeah, my honor. I pray that and intend that you get the most beautiful people to share the most epic conversations to come.
I've got a list.
Yo, checking it twice.
All right, Jordan. Well, thanks for coming on. Thank you guys
Thank
for
you for
listening,
having me.
and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Sicker than your average.